next speaker is, we're again moving things around a bit, but we're going to welcome Candace Brown, who's Manager Director of Rescue Operations at Badass Brooklyn Animal Rescue. And they definitely put together a badass campaign for Giving Tuesday, and Candace is going to tell you a little bit about that.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks very much for the introduction, Kate. As she said, my name is Candace Brown, and I'm honored to be here today from Badass Brooklyn Animal Rescue. I'm going to talk a little bit today about our 2014 campaign, which we like to lovingly refer to as Giving Tuesday to the Dogs. First, a little bit about Badass. We are an all-volunteer, nonprofit, and foster-based rescue that's made up of just basically people spending their spare time saving badass dogs from idiot humans. We say idiot humans because we rescue from super high kill shelters, mostly in the rural South, where dogs are often dumped by their families, literally like trash, and are killed in upwards of 90% numbers, really for no reason except that humans have failed them somewhere along the way. So we reference those idiot humans in our tagline, but it's really badass humans who we rely on to do the work of rescuing, rehabilitating, and helping these badass dogs find the families that they so deserve. We also rely on badass people to fund these efforts, and rescue can get really quite expensive. And this is kind of what we were struggling with last year. Badass was founded in 2011, but last year was actually our first full year with 501c3 status. And we are basically all virtual and funded exclusively by donations. And last year at this time, we had no development team in place. That's why I'm here. And we were just starting to look at ways to establish more sustainable funding streams. So we actually thought that Giving Tuesday was the perfect place for us to jump in here. We, as volunteers ourselves, love just the general idea of a global day dedicated to giving back. And of course, we like to think that nobody better embodies the giving spirit than our beloved friends, badass dogs. We also love Giving Tuesday for practical reasons. The toolkits provided by our friends here were actually a great way for an inexperienced organization like ourselves to jump in, tap into the existing movement, but also retain some flexibility to design a campaign that was customized to our own goals and strengths. So that's what we did. We designed our 2014 campaign as a kickoff to our regular end-of-year holiday fundraising campaign. And last year we had one old goal and one new goal, which was to maximize our end-of-year contributions, which are as important for us as everyone else. And we were also trying to make some headway in our newly established monthly giving program so that we could start to see some more of that reliable revenue. In that, we leveraged our strengths as well, and we designed a day of giving, giving back the way that we do best, and that's, of course, saving badass dogs from near certain death. So we planned a rescue of a group of dogs from death row down south, and then we leveraged another strength that we have, which is great creative talent, being that we are based in Brooklyn. And we happen to have some pretty cute and compelling subject matters in the pups. So we designed a highly visual and highly social campaign around this theme, Donations Save My Life. And I hope that you see what I see looking at this graphic, which is a pretty clear and powerful donor impact statement. Every dollar that goes to Badass does in fact go directly to saving a dog's life. And we like to think of it as every Badass dog has human generosity behind it. So with that, we paired an equally clear and simple call to action, which was give a little, save a life. And then we proceeded basically to embrace the materials provided by Giving Tuesday and create a co-branded effort to really customize all of our channels in gearing up and getting people excited. So that graphic that you see in the center of the header was the one that we used to customize our Network for Good donation page, where we were directing all traffic for Giving Tuesday. And this particular version was actually from our Facebook page, which is our strongest social media channel, with now it's about 20, it was probably about 20,000 people at that point. But we created an event so that we could invite people and do a little bit of paid promotion with our essentially non-existent budget to get the word out and get some people feeling enthusiastic. And then we also did direct outreach to our most key supporters. The week before Giving Tuesday, we compiled a Thanksgiving video that highlighted really all of the great work that had already happened in 2014, thanks to our generous supporters, and invited them to join us on Giving Tuesday to keep it up and save more dogs. And another key part of this outreach was that we spoke directly to our most dedicated group of supporters, and that is folks who adopted dogs from us. And we asked them not just to donate on Giving Tuesday, but also to incorporate their own Badass dogs into unselfies. Where did it go? To incorporate their own Badass dogs into unselfies that they'd then share with their own networks to get more people excited leading up to the day and hopefully some more support for the rescue. So that actually put us in pretty good shape for the day of Giving Tuesday, which we started off with this call to action video. So that video went out to our whole emailing list, as well as was posted on all of our social channels at the beginning of the day. And then we launched right into introducing the real stars of the day, and that was the 11 dogs that we rescued in honor of Giving Tuesday. This is a grid of all 11 of them, and we rolled them out individually on our social media channels, shared with the story either of their rescue or that somehow otherwise conveyed what Giving Tuesday is all about. And one example, if you see that the hound lowrider on the third row, his name was actually Charles M. Schultz, and that was in honor of a late rescue partner who had dedicated her life to saving animals, and she was just the kind of person who was really the definition of generous, and so somebody we really wanted to incorporate in our Giving Tuesday campaign to acknowledge that humans really make the difference here. And so we also were very mindful of engaging with supporters on the day. A lot of live activity, conversing on Twitter, thank yous, and of course, sharing those unselfies that we'd requested from adopters. So we did this throughout the day, and that evening we did a full roundup of all 11 Giving Tuesday dogs for one powerful image of the life-saving impact that donations to the rescue have. And we were also promoting the Network for Good matching funds that were available, and we used that for our final call, and we really did see that driving donations up to the buzzer and even a little bit beyond. The day after Giving Tuesday, we were able to incorporate this to transition to the general holiday campaign mode with a video of one of these Giving Tuesday dogs actually leaving his kennel in the shelter in Georgia for the last time and marching off to his badass life. So these are just some of the graphics that we used on Giving Tuesday. On the upper left is introducing one of the dogs on Instagram, which was actually new for us as well. And the lower left is one of the unselfies that a badass adopter got posted on her work Facebook account. And the full roundup of dogs that was our last call for donations. So how did this go for us? Well, as you might expect, we had some fairly modest expectations, given that we were just kind of trying out in the space. But we really got into Giving Tuesday, and we wildly exceeded all of those expectations. It ended up being the most money raised in a single day for a fundraising campaign in Badass's history. We nearly tripled the monthly giving enrollment for our new program. And the Giving Tuesday efforts actually brought us more than halfway to the goal for our entire 2014 holiday campaign. We were also thrilled to learn that we won the staff pick for best campaign from our partner Network for Good, and the $1,000 prize that came with it for the pups. And perhaps, most importantly and nearest and dear to our hearts, if you look at the top of this slide, those are images of some of the Giving Tuesday dogs with their adoptive families, and really drives home the point that thanks to Giving Tuesday and some of these planned efforts, there are many badass dogs who are out there, alive, loved, and themselves giving back every day. Thanks so much.